เราได้รับเกียรติจากผู้ที่จะขึ้นมาบรรยายในหัวข้อ Gen AI in the Cloud Drive AI Advancement in Organization และผู้ที่ให้เกียรติขึ้นมาพูดบนนี้ก็คือ Head of Technology APAC Amazon Web Services ขอเสียงปรบมือต้อนรับ Mr. Joel Garcia ครับ
Sawadika, and good morning to everyone. It's definitely an honor to be here, both as a speaker and joining a panel of the esteemed speakers today. So hopefully it'll be a great day for you to go through. So I'd like to share a little bit more with you on the business impact of generative AI and how it's actually going to reshape the possibilities, right? And when we think about the possibilities, we also like to say that it's still the early days, right? And actually what is possible in terms of transformation is just really limited by our imagination and what we strive to do for our customers. Next slide. We've gone a little bit manual with the clicker, considering we're doing artificial intelligence, but that's how we're getting through today. When I actually think about AI and we take a step back, right, and before even generative AI, let's go and define and think about what AI actually means, right? And if I were to think about it, regardless of where I'm working, is I kind of think about AI as mimicking human cognitive function, right? And if you actually think about it that way, the advancements in generative AI has actually taken the world by storm, right? Especially since the release of ChatGPT. And everyone's been enamored, obviously been captivated around the consumer-facing applications, right? And at the center of that technology, the possibility of what has actually happened with generative AI are really because of three things. Number one is the proliferation of these massive amounts of data that we've been generating. Number two, the availability of this scalable compute, which if you think about it today, has actually been available primarily through the cloud providers, right? That massive availability of compute. And then, because of that pivot turn from 2017, are the advancements also in machine learning, right? Which has actually led us into the crossroads here. And what's interesting is that Goldman Sachs is actually forecasting a $7 trillion global GDP increase, right? And there's a prediction that 2/3 of employees across America and Europe are going to actually be affected in some form or way through AI. Now, if I take a step back, and obviously I work for AWS, is machine learning, if I can just think about how we've been looking at it at Amazon, is really nothing new. In fact, it's part of our DNA, and we're one of the best references when we talk about machine learning and AI, right? So if you think about, for example, our e-commerce recommendations today that are primarily driven by machine learning, literally 4,000 products per minute sold on Amazon.com, or the robotic path that we also plot out for our robots in our fulfillment centers in the what we call the picking routes, right? Those are all examples of where we're also leveraging machine learning. Our Alexa interactions, in terms of billions of interactions, leverages over 30 machine learning models, right, to create that interaction, and that continues to evolve. And then the last is, which I thought was really cool, is something we call our Just Walk Out technology. And if you think about this Just Walk Out technology, we were thinking about a problem that we were trying to solve, and this is the road that I want to take you on today. Because while technology kind of sits and it's like really exciting, we're still in the very early days of this generative AI wave that we're going to see, and there's a lot of possibilities. So when you look at the technology like our Just Walk Out technology, where we've created this seamless experience where people can come in, pick up an item, and then just walk out without having to go through, so for example, the full process of a cash register, creates a different type of customer experience. And that's what I want to talk a little bit more about today, about those possibilities. Next slide, please. So at AWS, because we've leveraged so much of that machine learning and it's been part of our base, we've also been responsible in helping democratize machine learning for businesses of all shapes and sizes, from small, medium businesses, startups, all the way to some of the largest enterprises and some of the largest digital native businesses. So we have over 100,000 customers that are actually using machine learning. When we look at generative AI and what is behind it, what is this magic behind this? Well, behind it is something called foundation models, and you've probably heard of that. Everyone's talking about it. It's either the size of the foundation model or the accuracy of the foundation model or eventually how much it costs to actually run the foundation model, right? And these foundation models and the evolution of generative AI is different from where you had machine learning with very defined use cases, right? And as we kind of go through with generative AI, these are foundation models that are pre-trained on vast amounts of unstructured data, which allows them to be able to, which allows the possibilities to address a whole wide range of contexts, right? So applicable across industries. But I will say that the magic behind the foundation models, right, and where companies are best maximizing this is when they can take a foundation model and they can take their data and enrich that foundation model to make sure that the output of the foundation model is more driven by the output of what businesses require. So what are some of the possibilities, right? And this certainly is not exhaustive across different industries, right? So you have across healthcare and life sciences. And this is not just your run-of-the-mill, for example, where you have an ambient, I love that word, ambient digital scribe, right? And an ambient digital scribe could be artificial intelligence that's automatically creating transcripts with exact key details and summarizations for clinic-patient interactions, right? Just something that just happens more naturally, right? Or if you go through with financial services on intelligent advisory, right? With chatbots and call center assist where firms can actually address more complex queries from customers, right? Where they might need to combine several products or solutions together to come out with a more personalized offering. Or in retail, where you can now prompt a foundation model on an idea of a new product design, right? Or even a new creative design for that matter. And it will be able to come back with something that you've never thought possible in the past. Obviously, in the media and entertainment world, with the creation and summarization of text and the creation of new images, plus something that we call multimodal large language models, right? You're seeing more enriched interactions, right? Even in terms of, for example, automated content tagging. While I kind of talked about that those very broad, right? Very broad in terms of, and you don't need to boil the ocean, so to speak. You can choose on the specific use case. The important thing is that you can actually get started and experimenting for your business today, but it will fall usually in one of three areas, right? Number one, enhancing customer experiences. You kind of hear this all the time, right? Enhancing customer experience. I have a high level of empathy that customer experience is really around delivering customer delight and not delivering customer service. And the way that I kind of define that is customer service is meeting expectations. And creating customer delight is exceeding expectations. So when we're thinking about creating these enhancing customer experiences, that's what we're really looking at. But we're also a tough set of consumers, right? Because our preferences and our taste and how things go around, things are always changing in what our preferences are, right? But you'll see that in terms of enhancing. So definitely one channel will be enhancing customer experiences. The second one is where I started out the presentation, where AI and Gen AI are going to augment, not replace, are going to augment humans, right? So I kind of think of it like an exoskeleton. Right? You put on this exoskeleton, and by leveraging Gen AI and things like artificial intelligence, you're actually going to be able to do more. You're going to be more productive, right? And maybe even more importantly, you're going to be able to focus on more of the higher value things for the business, right? So boost employee productivity and creativity. And then the last one is really looking at optimizing business processes. Lots and lots of still possibilities around business processes and process optimization that will still come along.